kitchen again. I'm Diana Stein-Smolen, and today we're going to be making cheesecake bars for Shavuot. As many of you know, on Shavuot we received the Torah from Mount Sinai, and basically this is a holiday where a lot of people eat cheese and dairy. So that's why I decided to go with the cheesecake bars. I'll be honest with you, most of my recipes I've made for years. This one was the first time I made it was last week, and it turned out amazing. And it's not difficult. So we'll start with this. First of all, you need an 8x8 pan. Okay, here's my 8x8, and we're going to put the oven on 375, and we're going to make the crust for the cheesecake bar. So we need 10 graham crackers, 10 whole. Okay, we need 10 whole graham crackers, and that will be about 1 1/4 cups of graham cracker crumbs. Okay, you're gonna chop everything up finely and put it in a measuring cup, and that'll be 1 1/4 cups. You're gonna melt 5 tablespoons of butter, unsalted. I usually make everything with that's unsalted anyway, and you can put it in the microwave or on the boiler or anything like that. Then the recipe uses 1/3 dark brown sugar. So I use that. I would imagine you could use light brown, but I use dark brown anyway, following the rules at the beginning. So all that you mix in one bowl. You really have to smash down the graham crackers, the brown sugar, so it's very flat, okay? You don't want any bumps showing. And then you want it to come up about 1 inch on the sides too. Now, one thing I found when I made this recipe last week is they said to spray with nonstick oil or something like that, or nonstick cooking spray. The problem I found is when I was cutting the bars, it was hard to lift them. So this time around when I make them, I'm actually making them this weekend for my mother-in-law's birthday. I'm gonna grease the pan a lot more. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick in the crust, the crust that we just made, that's going to be flat, we're going to put in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to take it out, let it all cool. Then we're going to put the oven back down to 325. So we're throttling it down from 375 to 325. Meanwhile, our crust is going to cool. Now we're going to work on the filling. So here's my handy dandy nice KitchenAid mixer. See everyone?
Quick question. Okay, so do you have to score the bottom of the crust before you put it in the oven like you do with regular dough?
Well, it's not really a dough, everyone. It's really, it's like a crumbly mix. You just want to make it flat so you don't want to have any bumps sticking up. You don't want to have any of the graham crackers, the brown sugar. You don't want it to be bumpy. You want it to be like a flat mixture. Okay. Now, for the filling, we have this nice KitchenAid that I love to use when I'm whipping up things, okay? You see how it has a handle, a paddle, or, something, a really good beater. So, in that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix 16 ounces, which is really 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. I bought this Philadelphia. I use full fat. I suppose in the future, like most of us, we're trying to watch our weight a little bit because this recipe has loads of fat and sugar in it. I'll cut it down. But this time I use the full fat. Then it says 1 cup granulated sugar. Okay, so I put in the electric mixer, I put in the cream cheese, I put the sugar in, and also it asks for 1 1/2 tablespoons of flour. So I let that beat, I let it go at a nice speed. I would say about in a medium. Then I let it stop, and then I added 1/4 cup sour cream, 2 1/2 teaspoons vanilla extract. Then the recipe called for 1/2 teaspoon of zest, like the rind from the lemon. But I always find adding a little more lemon or orange in a recipe gives it a lot more punch, makes it a lot more flavorful. So I doubled that. I added a teaspoon of it. And for that, I used a blender because this way it gets the rind to be nice and small. If you don't have the time, you could probably chop it up with a knife. But again, I really prefer a blender to make the granules fine. So then I put a teaspoon of that into the mix, as well as here it says for a teaspoon lemon juice. So I squeeze 2 teaspoons of the lemon juice. Basically, I doubled each part of that. I doubled the zest and I doubled the juice to give it that nice lemony flavor. And here it calls for salt. Again, I never add salt when I bake, so I eliminate that. And that I did on a slower speed. They call that on a slower speed because you want it just to be mixed. You don't want it to be overkill. So once all those ingredients were mixed, everything is mixed, I poured everything into the pan where the crust is. Again, the crust has to be on the cooler side. So we're talking about a half an hour later. And I poured that in. And then I baked it at 325 for 40 to 45 minutes. Then in the center, often when you're baking like brownies or an 8 by inch cake, you want to put the fork in and you want it to come out clean, which means there's no remnants on the fork. But in here, it should be a little jiggly. It's not going to come out clean. So what's going to happen is you're going to take it out and it's still going to continue to cook for a while. Then after maybe 20 minutes, a half an hour being out, I put it in the refrigerator. And then I let it, continue to get cold. It's good maybe 3 hours later to have a dessert, but it's even better, I found, when it was overnight, because then it really became nice and solid. So that's really what it's all about. And then here the recipe said you could cut it into about 20 squares or whatever it is. Maybe you could get a nice 12 squares with this. And what's really nice about this cheesecake recipe is I found it's not too hard. And it's great if you want to put strawberries on top. If you want blueberries, raspberries, it goes really nice with those summer fruits. It's light. Again, cheesecake, as we know, is a fattening type of cake. So you're not going to want to put too much gook on top of it. But it goes really nicely with the berries, any type of berry, the raspberries, the blueberries, strawberries, whipped cream, anything you want to put onto it. And what I decided for the next time I'm going to make it with chocolate. I'm going to swirl in some chocolate because for that, you can never have too much chocolate. And then it will be a chocolate cheesecake. So that's what my plans are for next time. But again, this recipe turned out really well. I was very happy with the results. And it's not too hard to make, as long as you have all the right ingredients. And again, double up on the lemon zest and also double up on the lemon juice to give it that flavor. And that's it. So I want to wish everyone a very Chag Sameach, a happy Shavuot. And thank you again for coming to my kitchen. And I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy.